Have you ever finished talking to someone and immediately you wanted to be alone? Like nothing happened. They didn't insult you. They didn't argue with you. But somehow after the conversation, you feel extremely tired. You started replying what they said to you. Like you feel uncomfortable. You even ask yourself, why do I feel this way around this person? And the strange part is, you may actually care about them. So, why does talking to them leave you feeling completely drained? Let's talk about this. Sometimes the problem isn't that someone is a bad person. It's just the pattern of the relationship. Maybe the conversation or every conversation becomes their problem. Maybe they constantly complain. Maybe they criticize you without realizing it. Or maybe you leave every conversation feeling like you've done something or you've given something to them but received nothing in return. And that is what we are looking at today. Now, here are 5 signs to notice why you feel drained after having a conversation with someone. Number 1 sign: every conversation somehow becomes about them. You start by telling them something that happened in your life. Before you could finish talking, they are already talking about themselves. You tell them you're struggling. They tell you how much worse their problem is. You share good news, they bring up their own achievements. After a while, you stop talking about yourself because you already know they are not really listening. Number 2 sign: you always become the emotional dumping ground. Whenever something goes wrong, they call you. The relationship problem, the family problem, the money problem, the work problem. You just listen to all of that. You advise them. You encourage them. But when something happens to you, when you need someone, they are suddenly too busy. And that's when the relationship starts feeling one-sided. The 3rd sign is you constantly feel judged around them. The moment you tell them about what your plans are or what you're planning, they immediately tell you why it will not work. You hear something you like, they make a small comment. You make a decision, they question it. They may say they are only being honest. But after every conversation, you start doubting yourself. Imagine that. And that is when you need to pay close attention. Now the 4th sign is you feel like you have to be careful with everything you say. Now you can't relax anymore. You're not choosing words. You can't speak freely. You have to think before you speak. You're not wondering what their reactions will be. And this is not a comfortable relationship. Because if you constantly have to protect yourself during a conversation, then your mind gets tired. That's the truth. The fifth sign, and here is the one people often miss. You feel so relieved when the conversation ends, and before you know, your phone starts ringing. You look at the screen and you see their name calling. Instead of you to feel happy, you think to yourself, oh no, why is this person calling? What does he want now? And that is when you should stop and ask yourself, why? So here is what you should do. You don't have to suddenly hurt the person totally, like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to end every relationship that makes you feel uncomfortable. No. What you should do is start creating boundaries. You don't have to answer every call immediately. You don't have to carry every problem. And you don't have to explain every decision you make. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with people, because sometimes your mind notices a pattern before you are ready to admit it. Now I want to ask you something. Is there someone in your life you care about so much, but every time you talk to them, you feel completely drained? Have you ever noticed that? Tell me in the comments. Let's talk. Because here on Oruns Reality Talk, we don't talk about perfect people. We talk about real life.